Hello and welcome to another YouTube video from Franco Shaw. I know you guys haven't seen me in a long time. You guys have been waiting for this video. Advanced e-commerce landing pages for 2024. So if you guys don't know me, I've been kind of infamous in the space for creating some of the best landing pages possible for dropshipping stores and dropshipping businesses. And today I'm going to show you guys the exact same way that I'm building out my landing pages going into 2024. So when I got popular back in 2020, in the Discord community space for some niche e-commerce groups, I was famous for the fulfillment warehouse video and the fake tweet testimonials from some micro influencers. Today we have all of those things plus more, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need to be doing to build out the best landing pages possible for 2024 so that every single click, even if they don't convert to a customer today, may convert to a customer tomorrow. And I'll teach you a little bit on how to do that later. If you guys don't know, I am the owner of the group FutrGroup. FutrGroup is a private online community where we're behind a bit of a paywall. We lean a little bit more advanced, and the people that we have inside of our community are a little bit more advanced. We prefer to keep it that way. So if you guys are beginners, stick to this content, stick to these videos. And if you guys get to the point where you learn and you get to that $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a day mark, think about joining FutrGroup because you guys will find amazing content like this. This is where I post majority of the tutorial style content. This is showing you how to do it. The actual tutorial side on how I get into the actual nitty gritty down to the seconds of exactly what you need to be doing, what, where, and how I do inside of FutrGroup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first and most important part about dropshipping online is identifying your audience. Finding a winning audience is going to be your most beneficial practice. And the reason why is because that audience isn't going anywhere, but the product will. So what I mean by that is products come in and out of style all the time, but a niche isn't going to go in and out. If you guys master getting good at one niche, just like a stock trader masters getting good at one particular index, that's where you guys are going to have the most success. You want to stick to what you're good at. So when you see these landing pages that I'm about to show you here and that I've created, I've stayed within those subsector niches for a very long time. And I've been able to identify key characteristics and personality traits of the individuals that are involved in those niches, right? So when I'm selling to women over 30 and up, I know exactly the type of things that they're looking for on the landing pages. And then it's just a matter of finding the trending product that week or that month for that niche and capitalizing off of that market. Because nobody has better landing pages. Nobody's able to create bundles like I am with the sourcing agent agreements that I have. And my advertisements aren't seen on Spytool. So with all of these things in play, there's really no competition. And as you guys know, dropshipping, the number one thing that a lot of people look at as being a downside is how saturated it can get, right? When you have these elements in play, there's no saturation, right? Because who can compete with you when you're doing all of these things? And I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So as I go into this explanation more, it says here, jack of all trades, master of none. Exactly like I said, right? So you don't want to be mastering every single product that comes into your pipeline. Some things it's okay to say no to, and it's okay to fail if you're sticking with your niche. If you've chosen, let's say, women's beauty to really put all your time and attention into because it's not going anywhere. And let's just face it, women, spend more money than men online, and that's a great niche to involve yourself with. Then having a product that you're going all out for and it not doing well is only going to teach you more than if you were to go ahead and pick 15 different products to try and make one work, right? You're not building anything as an individual, as a marketer, to really differentiate yourself from everybody else if you're selling every single product. If I'm going into a space, let's say the women's niche, 30 and up, I know that I'm going to dominate that space just because of my experience and my ability to cater to that audience and that niche. So that's very important and something that I think a lot of people overlook when they're marketing and advertising online. The second tip that I like to bring to you guys is conviction through psychology, right? So a lot of human behavior or behavior science is brought down to anthropology. Anthropology, for those of you guys who don't know, is the reason and why we act the way that we do based on certain circumstances that may happen to us. So I've spoken a lot about this previously in my 2020 course. I know this is like the latest content that I've been coming up with in 2024. So if you guys don't know who I am and you guys haven't watched my old content, I highly recommend doing that. However, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about customer profiles and what type of customer profiles you're going to encounter throughout your dropshipping experience. So one of them being the unsellable individual. And as you can see here, I've kind of put like an overweight blue collar guy in the picture because that's typically what you get, right? It's the men 40 and up, adults under 23. So the people that don't have money, that you can buy this on Temu. So it's the commenters that are never going to be interested in your product. And why would you want to categorize them into a potential niche that you can sell within? The obedient buyer. So the obedient buyer is somebody who pays attention. They have a high retention rate. So they're actually paying attention to the content that's being put out there. They're not just buying anything that's coming in front of them. They're aware of the trends and they spend money. So they're not afraid to spend, a little bit more money to buy the best. So they're going to do their research. They're going to look at your brand. They're going to look at their landing page, and then they're going to make an informed decision on whether or not they want to purchase based on the evidence that you're showing to them as a brand. And we're going to talk more about that evidence as I show you guys in the landing pages. The third one is the I buy anything category. So those are the individuals who are typically low quality traffic. They're not going to be somebody who you're going to want to spend a lot of time and attention or advertising to. These are people who are low quality traffic. Think about products that you see online for $5, $10 are typically scams. These are who are buying them. And it's not a great audience to try to cater to or to try and move your specific interest into, just because you're long-term going to be wasting time. They're super emotional. They're impulsive to the problematic standpoint, so that it becomes a problem in their life. And it's high volume, low value. So not something that I would spend too much time and attention on as a marketer or getting involved in dropshipping. The third one is playing the giant. So this goes into obviously your role as being somebody that's bigger than you are. And how you can do that is through psychology tricks on your landing page, which I'll show you here. So there's some examples, obviously. Client testimonials, extremely high profile graphics and imagery. You can create this using artificial intelligence, which is actually a thread in here. And that's something that I've been going all in on with my landing pages, right? So all of my landing pages as of recently have been utilizing artificial intelligence, which I show you in detail how to do inside of FutrGroup. For those of you guys who would like to create landing pages that look like the landing pages that you're seeing inside of this video. Growth hacking for immediate recognition is something that you guys all should be doing. So we all know about SMM panel boosting. For those of you guys who have been watching me over the years, it still works, and Spark ads is fantastic. It definitely will improve your ROAS over not utilizing Spark ads. Same with Facebook. You don't want to go crazy, but adding 15 or 20 positive comments, as well as 1,000 to 2,000 positive engagements on your ads will drastically increase the retention and overall conversion rate over an ad that doesn't have those benefactors, right? The initial interaction and manipulating the perspective is another very key important role to play as a marketer, because I think everybody, when they're thinking about dropshipping, they always get so confused. Like, well, how do I find winning products? FutrGroup. How do I make killer landing pages? FutrGroup. How can I learn more about the advanced level of e-commerce that nobody talks about on YouTube? FutrGroup. Self-plug there, but it's about manipulating the perspective of your audience, right? So for me, I'm not forward on YouTube. I have a little bit of a presence on Instagram, but when I'm creating compelling advertisements and when I'm creating brands, immediately when you go on one of my landing pages, it's me. If you guys have been following me over the years, and it's because I've relayed a level of quality that just others aren't able to represent in their brands. And if you see, factory warehouse videos or fake tweets or, incredible product imagery for a product that you see marketed very well with hooks and incredible calls to action, that's typically a brand that I'm either a part of or a student of mine. And it transcends time and space in the dropshipping space or community because of the amount of work that I've put into understanding human behavior and psychology on a level of buying patterns, right? So that's what you guys are ultimately watching this video to master. You guys aren't watching this video to just find winning products and create badass websites. You're watching this video to understand what it means to be a dropshipper on a deeper level. Because dropshipping, as I've said before, is just the act of getting the product to the customer. The actual benefit that you're providing is an image that somebody is buying into, right? So you spend years and years and years mastering the skill for somebody in a matter of 5 seconds to determine if they want to purchase your product or not. And that's something that I think is admirable if you're willing to put the time into, and there's nothing that will pay off as heavy as dropshipping will in those moments. Just let your initial ads do the work, bring them into the lander, convey them with testimonials and with comments and with GIFs and with beautiful imagery, and it'll take care of itself for you, I promise you. And even if they go to checkout and they don't purchase today, if you have their phone number or their email with their email flows that I teach inside of FutrGroup, you'll convert them in a matter of a week or so. It's not a problem. This is where it gets interesting. This is the section called Utility with AI. Utility with AI, the ones that I use are Midjourney, Focus, I think it's just called Focus, CapCut, and 11 Labs. So CapCut is the editing software that you guys want to be using to create your short form content. 11 Labs is the voiceover software that I use for all the FutrGroup ads. Focus is a free version. I'll put the link in the description that you guys can use. It's on a Google server, so you guys will be able to create artificial intelligence imagery for your brands to look like the landing pages that I'm showing you guys here. And then Midjourney is obviously a Discord server for artificial intelligence, and it's incredible. The product images, the lifestyle images that I'm able to create now for my brands is 10 times better than it was, even 2 years ago. 2 years ago, everybody was using Unsplash or Pexels. So the whole thing that differentiates the FutrGroup members from standard dropshippers is when you go on our websites, you know right away that they're a member of FutrGroup. When you're utilizing Spytools and you're just stealing our copy or our ads and you're replicating our websites, you're second in line for acquiring those customers, and you can't buy that, right? So you might think, oh, I can just spend more money and acquire the sale. That's not always how it works, because once you have brand authority, there's DMCA methods, there's a way to tackle trying to capitalize off of the existing winner, right? So we protect ourselves in the community through FutrGroup, the app on the Shopify dashboard. And we also protect ourselves by removing ourselves from the Spytool apps, by blocking those sales trackers so that you guys don't see our winning products. AI product photos, your ticket to instant authority. Obviously, you guys will have immediate brand recognition with those artificial intelligence photos. There's to the quality extent of Nike, and I'll put in some prompts inside of FutrGroup if you're watching this video in there, which is the detailed tutorial. I'll put in my prompts that I use personally to get imagery like this. The AI hero banners, it's something that can't be competed with. It's incredible, like I said before, just makes your brand stand out that much more. And the unrelenting social proof, so convincing your market that you're a giant. You can use apps like ChatGPT to write comments. Everybody kind of knows that though, that's pretty basic. So the breakdown, this is the landing page breakdown. So in here, we're gonna talk about the steps that the consumer is gonna go through on the actual website in order to qualify them as a buyer. So step one, consumers experience instant professionalism and unparalleled quality. And the way that they do that is through looking at your website. As soon as they click through on that advertisement, they're seen immediately with unparalleled quality. Nobody can compete with these landing pages in the space, unless you're using Pagefly, but that's more for branding if you want to take it to the next level. But personally, with this shrine theme, with this custom setup that we utilize inside of FutrGroup, there's nobody that can compete with this level of unparalleled quality for people that are just coming from a consumer perspective looking to purchase the product. Step two, consumers presented with social proof showcasing why and how your brand and product stand out as the superior choice. So what does this mean? This is very important. So when they're scrolling past the product, they've already determined in their mind if they're interested or not. What will give them that push over the edge to convince them as a buyer? It's other people or influencers having a great experience with that product, right? That's why you have these massive companies, these big brands that are trying to do influencer marketing because it's the only advertising that works, right? Swiffer, Tide, it's conveying the message that they need to convey, which is, the average individual uses their products and they're trying to get that across. And the same goes for dropshipping, right? So my particular niche that I focus a lot of time and attention into is the women's beauty niche. So for me, targeting fake tweets through micro influencers works great. And I used to run those ads on Facebook and they would do tremendously well. So definitely something to consider when you're building out your landing pages, and it's highly recommended in order to get your ROAS to that 5x mark that everybody's looking for. Step three, the customer's overwhelming satisfaction with the information about the product prompt them to make an impulsive buying decision. So if they've gone through the entire purchasing funnel, if they've gone from top to bottom and basically have said, the imagery is amazing, testimonials are great, the reviews look super legit, look at the warehouse video, look at the GIFs, look at the micro influencer tweets, look at where they've been featured in, why wouldn't they purchase, right? Especially if the price is great and you have upsells and bundles to make your higher profit margins. I mean, it's a no-brainer why somebody wouldn't purchase, right? And I don't have to convince you. I know you as users are looking at these landing pages and going, of course they convert. Inputs I wish somebody told me 10 years ago when I was first starting. In the absence of competition, the only rival is yesterday's version of yourself. So what does that mean? When you are building out these stores and you're building out these sites, I don't expect them to look exactly like this unless you're a FutrGroup member, and then you have no excuse because it's a 1 hour long tutorial video where I show you exactly how to do it. But if you're just watching this and you're trying to mimic it, maybe you don't have the $3,000 to afford our lightest package. If you're implementing this message and you're implementing the content that I'm showing you, there's a drastic chance that you're going to have better results than you did yesterday. And that's your only enemy in this field and line of work, is who you were yesterday. So a lot of dropshippers, they'll have those big months, then they get lazy and they get out of the game. Chances are, if you've had those big months, getting lazy and getting sort of in your routine of having that money now is only going to be an enemy to you. So your enemy is who you were yesterday, constantly pushing yourself to create awesome landing pages, to create amazing ads, to constantly get better with the stuff that AI is pushing, right? There's no reason for you as a dropshipper and as a marketer to not be advancing yourself every single day with free content, with paid content, with insights and inputs from artificial intelligence, utilizing KPIs. You take your TikTok data, you take your Facebook data, and you just analyze them. There's certain things that I do as a dropshipper every single day that's benefiting me tomorrow that might not seem that way to the average individual, but over 10 years, I know, hey, I'm going to put 10 minutes into product research on TikTok. Hey, I'm going to spend 15 minutes creating customer profiles on TikToks for my virtual assistants to do product research. That way I have a Google sheet full of 1,000 products that I can go through in green light, orange light, or red light, so that my editors and my team can upload them to FutrGroup as winning products. But then at the end of the week, I'm able to sit there and go, wow, I'm so much further ahead than I was last week because I have these systems and these tools in place. Winning products, your ticket to consistent profit. Avoid Spytool, stick to consumer profile product research, not advertising based. You do not want to focus on just looking at spy tools for winners. Those products are already being advertised. You're just going to waste your time. Like I said, create a customer profile. If you guys don't know how to create a customer profile, make a new TikTok account, set the age between 18 and 24 as a woman, and then go in and you'll be fed with winning products because those are the products that are being advertised to that demographic and that age group. It's not rocket science, right? So if you're seen as a woman, you're going to be getting woman ads. And that's just what I do. If you guys don't want to do it yourself, you guys can also go on TikTok, maybe buy it, Amazon, maybe buy it, and follow all those pages. So follow the pages that are coming out with interesting and cool content, especially on the product research level. And then when you go to your For You page, when you scroll left on TikTok, then your feed becomes an entire feed of winning products that you guys can go in, like, engage with, export those videos in Snaptic, upload it to CapCut, edit it, and then you guys have the potential to test those winners. It's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't anybody do that, right? Instead of sitting on the toilet and just reading some bullshit, or going on TikTok and just scrolling mindlessly, you guys should be working. A lot of these products are coming in and out of fashion very, very fast. So be fast with your movements. When you find that winning product, utilize this exact testimonial or tutorial on how to build out that landing page. Build it out super quick. You have the templates all there for you, and boom, you have an absolute killer landing page with a product that's trending, that the people on the spy tools that are dilly-dallying around waiting for you to run those ads are going to get weeks ahead from. That's how you make those $100,000 days, those $50,000 days. You have to be first to the market. Failure is the canvas where wisdom paints its masterpiece. So even if you fail, remember, you're failing and you're realizing the failures along the way. You're looking at your KPIs, you're looking at your data along the way inside of your advertising platforms, and you're saying, this doesn't work, this works. What did I fail on? Install Hotjar. Recognize where people are clicking off of your landing page and of your website and where it's not converting, and then influence those areas with human psychology and anthropology, right? If they're getting to the review section and then they're clicking off, the reviews aren't compelling enough, fix them. If they're getting to the product images and they're clicking off, the product images aren't drawing them. If they're going to checkout and they're clicking off, are you charging shipping? Think about these things along the way and then learn from them for your next project and your next winning product. When to scale. This is an interesting aspect of business that I haven't spoken about specifically for dropshipping. So there's certain KPIs, so key performance indicators, that you want to be looking at, and then it's an if this then that function, right? So it's kind of robotic to think about. Or if you have a sub $10 cost per acquisition, so you're acquiring sales for less than $10 per sale, you want to create a high budget CBO, start it at $250, and then you want to surf scale it to $500, $1,000, and $2,000 after 5 p.m. EST. If you guys don't know how to do that, you guys can watch other content that I have that showcases how to do that through day parting. But it's manually bumping the budget on the CBO after 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from $250 to $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 before 12 a.m. EST. And you'll find that that's going to be an incredible benefactor for your cost per acquisition. It might scale it might go above $10 cost per acquisition when you're scaling it to those numbers, but it's fine. You won't notice the blowout as if you just, let's say, take your ABOs and bump the budgets. You do not want to do that. You do not want to touch the ABO budgets and scale them too aggressively. It's better to create a CBO and then bump it from 250 to 500 to 1,000 to 2,000. Only change your total CBO budget after 24 hours of running the initial ad set budget. So that's true. So when you create a $250 campaign budget, you want it to run for 24 hours and then surf scale it. When you do it for $500, you want to run it for 24 hours and then surf scale it. 1,000, so on and so forth, right? That way your pixel analyzes the data and picks up on the improved budget. Because what you'll find is when you bump the budget, your pixel doesn't know what to do now. And it spends all of the money as quickly as possible. And then you just have all this dead data. It's better to give it that 24-hour window or the day parting window, whether you're advertising for 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, whatever it is. Give it that period of time and that window of time to truly capitalize off of that enhanced budget. So if your click-through rate is above 3%, congratulations, that means you have a winning ad. You want to go ahead and duplicate it into other campaigns. So you take that winning ad copy and you just duplicate it into other CBOs or ABOs. That's all it's saying there. So creatives at 3% click-through rate show high retention and will be winning ads if structured correctly. If your ROAS is above 2.5, you want a day part scale. So you want to bump your ABO budgets every hour after 7 p.m. EST. So by just increasing your ABO budget without day parting, so let's say you have an ABO that's performing at 2.5x and at 2 o'clock, you bump it to $250 or $500. It won't perform as well as if you do it after 5 p.m. because after 5 p.m. you have that increased audience size, right? People are at home, people are paying attention to their phones, and that's who you want to sell to and when you want to sell to them. So you want to bump your ABO budgets by 2x the current budget every 20 to 30 minutes and then reset them back to their original budgets at 12 a.m. rather. So that means if your budget is $50, you're getting good results, you bump it to 100, you bump it to 200, then 400, then 800, then 1600. You get where I'm going. If you're doing it periodically every 30 minutes or every hour after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then at 12 a.m. when the TikTok algorithm resets or when the day is over, you go ahead and you reset that budget back to $50, and that's how you scale periodically. It's very basic. How to become an e-commerce giga chad. This is kind of a funny slide, but this is true, right? So you're first to market, first to profit. You're going to have your custom gifts. You're going to have your landers that are built out in the FutrGroup style. You're going to have your testimonials, your product photos, and your descriptions, and your influencer tweets. Nobody's going to be able to compete with you. You're never going to be able to get competed with if you have this layout. I promise you right now. And I ask you to test this and prove me wrong if you have, because I've been doing this for 10 years, and these are the landing pages that convert 100% with dropshipping. You're going to have age processing, you're going to have company structure, and you're going to have an advanced owner. So somebody that's actually learning as an individual and getting better every single day, not just somebody that's kind of riding the wind and finding a winner, having one big month, and then falling off the next month, right? You want consistency if you're going to be doing this full time. So the unethical degenerate, which is the exact opposite of that. You're going against talentless, unethical degenerates who will suck every dollar you have from this product away if they can. These are people that are on the Spytools. These are people that are drop scammers. These are people that have $5 products, $10 products that are just going to jump on your winning ad and they're going to try and influence it in a negative way. There's ways to avoid these individuals that we teach inside of FutrGroup. So they're going to have high chargebacks. They're going to be lazy and sloppy. They're going to be a drop scammer. So they're not going to be building out those landing pages like you are. And if they are, they're doing it maliciously, and you go ahead and you DMCA them, right? Because you have the first landing page and you have the content for that product. So projected value analysis. There's never been a better time to be involved with e-commerce at a high degree of understanding with the investment that we're receiving now from artificial intelligence, right? So AI is drastically changing a bunch of different industries, dropshipping included. There's never been a better time to be a dropshipper, and there's never been a lazier time to be a dropshipper if you know what you're doing. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. So always put the time in, always develop your skill set. Never worry about today's results, always worry about tomorrow's results. Get better today for tomorrow. So think ahead, okay? So dropshipping without FutrGroup, month 1 through 5, you could look at $5,000 a month. Month 5 through 10, you're looking at 7 to 10K a month. And then as you see here in the chart, as you start getting better, so maybe a year or 2 years in, you're maybe at $18,000 to $20,000 a month in profit. That's fantastic. That's more money than a doctor in a lot of countries. What we provide to you is we provide you such advanced levels of knowledge and implementations that you're able to skip the line essentially. So instead of just learning from free content or going on YouTube and doing all of this difficult work, you skip that line. We're teaching you exactly what it takes to be a winner right off the bat so that you guys can implement 10 years worth of experience today and don't have to wait until you make all those mistakes. I'm here. I've made those mistakes. Month 1, you can make as high as $20,000 a month. Month 2, $25,000. Month 3, consistent. Month 4, $30,000. Month 5, $50,000. So these are just visual examples, obviously. But the people inside of the community that have started, they're leapfrogging ahead of people that aren't getting this content because of how advanced it is. And if you're able to just point your mouse and click and go around your computer and follow exactly what I'm doing, if you find the products, we provide 70 winning products per week. On average. If you're not able to go in there and find a winner and build out a landing page that looks exactly like this, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe dropshipping isn't for you. So there you guys go. Without further ado, that is the presentation. I hope you guys like the landing pages. I'm going to show you guys in detail exactly how to build out landing pages like this inside of the FutrGroup community. For those of you guys who aren't members and you want to consider joining FutrGroup and taking your 2024 to the next level, you guys can go ahead and you guys can drop me a message on Instagram for the membership rates. We have 2 memberships, one at $3,000, one at $5,000. $5,000 comes with live calls for me one-on-one, The 3000 doesn't, but you get all the same utility and all the same practice as everybody else that's inside of that community. Thank you guys so much. I'm going all in on YouTube this year because I love it. It's super cool to be able to provide this community with value consistently over the 10 years that I've been in the space. And I thank you guys all for watching this video. Thank you so much. Franky out.